Hello, my name is Bryce, and I get active in that bedroom, okay? But one thing that is not my favorite thing, okay? I almost want to say I dislike it. Receiving sloppy, okay? Getting the toppy, if you will. Just doesn't do it for me most of the time, okay? Like, I want to be in that cat person. Like, that's where I want to reside, okay? However, sometimes there are sloppy givers that separate themselves from the pack, okay? That I can't really put into that label of I never want to get sloppy from you. Now we're going to delve into the top 5 in no particular order. And if you're a longtime viewer, you're going to be familiar with some of these stories, okay? But I know a lot of you are new. Anyways, we're starting off with the girl who ghosted me because my meat was too large. Now, what made this so good, you might ask, okay? She attacked it with tenacity, okay? Like I was getting gobbled up. I was almost afraid. But here's the story of how it happened, okay? We matched on Tinder, right? We're going back and forth. I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, classic Tinder shenanigans. And then she said, do you want to hang out tonight? And I'm like, okay, fine, tonight. Now, mind you, I'm used to playing the game of like, oh, we're hanging out, okay? And then we get together, then perhaps we crack, we not crack, something like that. But she immediately says to me, can we use a condom? And I'm like, what? And I literally texted her, I'm like, yo, I think that's a little bit presumptuous. And she's like, I'm like, what's like what's giggle worthy about that? But then I'm like, yeah, like of course, like a condom would be used. And then she was like, okay, bet. So then she ended up coming over later that night, and I had Black Mirror on. If you know me, Black Mirror is my link show. Okay, it's something that's interesting enough to have on TV, but not too distracting for when things get hot and heavy. Basically, me and her were talking for a bit, maybe like 15 to 20 minutes. So I was like, okay, bet. Like we are just vibing, right? And then like one time, like she stopped talking, and I was like, where'd that come from? So I turned and looked at her, and she instantly like grabbed me and started making out with me, right? I'm not get too graphic, but this is when I knew how intense she was. She was throwing me all around. Took my meat out, instantly started going to town, okay? I had no say in the matter, but mind you, I would have consented if given the opportunity. She was going crazy, eating me up, and she was telling me, she's like, get up, get over there. And I was like, okay. Ooh, take that chair, sit on that, right? Boom. Like literally just directing me all around the room, throwing me around. I liked it. Very good stuff, okay? So now we're getting to the point where we're gonna advance, right? So now we're gonna have relations, and then put on the protection, and then I put it in. I forgot exactly what she said, but like one of those things where it's like, oh, and you're like, okay, what? Like, what's going on here? She's like, oh, it's big. I'm like, okay, thank you. And she's like, oh, but like it's too big. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And then she's like, okay, let's try this position. Okay, now let's try this position. And it just we keep coming across the same problem. She's getting frustrated. She's like, okay, what do you normally do when this happens? Now, mind you, in hindsight, now, did she want me to munch? Okay, I think it would have been a great opportunity to munch, but like I was just in the moment. I was like, oh, like I don't know. She's like, you're the one with the big meat. Like, what do you do when this happens? And the answer to that is usually just like stop. Like I just like wouldn't do that. I'd engage in other things, which I would like munch. But like the thing is, she seemed like she very clearly wanted like the relations to happen. So I'm just like, yo, I don't know. And she's getting like really frustrated with me. And then we try again, and then like she's like, oh, and like she starts like cursing, right? And like not like loud, nothing crazy, but like she's clearly again upset. And I forgot what she said, but she said something got messed up inside of her. I don't know if she verbatim said torn cervix, but she basically explained that like something inside of her, like it's happened before. So now she's gonna be out of commission for a while. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, oh, whatever. And then she ended up leaving, right? And then at the end, I didn't know what to say, bro. Like I'm like I've never experienced, because the thing is, I'm very much, again, like had I had hookups, sure, maybe, but there was always something else there. So it's like usually, even though like we were just hooking up, they also wanted me romantically, right? So there was no like, oh, us hooking up and then them just instantly leaving. Like that was very rare. But I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh, like we should do this again sometime. And I could see in her eyes when she was like, yeah. She did not mean that shit, bro. She did not want to see me again. Literally after that, I don't know how long after, she unadded me on Snap. And then I remember like I had seen her in person a few times after that, not gonna lie. And we kind of like just like avoid each other. I'm not gonna lie, I think she might have had a boyfriend, but like I don't know. I don't want to like, because I think I've seen her with a guy, like, but I don't know how that like works. But anyways, though, the sloppy undeniable, bro. Like I wish she could have finished the job. Like I felt like I'd be like a jerk if I was like, hey, like at least one of us can, you know what I mean? But nah, I should have gave the sloppy. But the thing is, I don't like. She just didn't seem like she really just wanted me to crack. It was kind of crazy. Now number 2, okay, girl who called me the N-word. Okay, gave great topic, and that's one of my first videos on here. And I don't know why. In that video, I really intensely tried to not give away too much because I didn't want you to know I was in high school when it happened. I don't know why. Like I think I wanted more room to tell like different stories. Yeah, I was in high school. She did this maneuver one time, and like I'll never forget it. Basically, we were sitting in her car, right, and she sat on my lap. And basically, like she backed up, like she was sitting like crisscross applesauce. and literally like just went down, started giving me sloppy, like off the crisscross applesauce. I was like, this is insane. I had never seen anything like it at that point in my life. This is great stuff. But I will say she's kind of more of an honorable mention because she never gave me sloppy for like too much of an extended period of time, because me and her would just have relations. But the way that situation ended, I remember, and this was my ideal breakup method for the longest time. She wanted us to go to prom together, me and her. I didn't want to be seen with her. Was part of it because she was white? Maybe like a tiny bit. Like my high school is very diverse, right? And when I say diverse, like I feel like people oftentimes they just mean like, oh, there's black people there. No, I mean like there was like all races. Like we had so many, like we had this big hallway of just like flags of everyone who went to the school, right, of their country. But it's like at the same time, I didn't want to get the allegation. And also I had a feeling me and her were gonna break up, so I didn't want to be seen with her. And then like, you know, when I try to get something new, it become a problem, right? So basically, I kept telling her like, like I can't do it. Like my mom says I can't. Oh, because then she wanted me to go to her prom, and I was like, absolutely not. Like in my mind, because I didn't. One, again, being seen with her, but two, I don't know these people, bro. I'm uncomfortable with that. But anyways, what I ended up doing is I went to prom just and didn't tell her, and then the next day I posted that I was at prom. And she was so mad that she broke up with me. And I was like, yes, I am free. And she gave her friend my number, okay? Because she was like, hey, like you can have him now. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Which is crazy because that same friend, I met her in person with Shorty. And I remember we were just like, hey. And like she freaked out. She's like, oh my gosh, you guys sleeping together. Da, 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 da. And it's like, nah, we weren't. The thing is, me and her had matched on the same dating app that me and other girl had matched on. But me and her just like didn't really continue talking. Yeah, she was completely tripping. But after the breakup, bro, she just passed me along, man. Not gonna lie, to that woman, I was just a piece of meat. That was probably why I was so good, not gonna lie. Like she would tell me, like she'd be like, oh, like I love you. But like, you know what she used to do, bro? She would send me like scantily clad images, and she would send me like unclothed images as well. And she would want me to post them on social media. And I'm like, dog, no. Like, she's like, oh, but like, I'm your girl. Like, you're supposed to let people know you're proud to be with me. I'm like, I'm not gonna, I'm like, literally, I'm like, bro, why do I want people seeing your kitty cat? Like, that, why would I want that? Now, mind you, again, like, as you can tell by the story, I didn't really, like, I wanted her gone, but I'm just like, it's embarrassing. Like, imagine your significant other, okay, man, woman, non-binary. Imagine they're like, hey, these are my parts. Post them on social media. I feel like regardless of whether or not like you're really into them, that would like I don't want that on my social media. Like imagine just scrolling down your friend's feed and then you see his girl's breasts. Like, nah, I was not rocking with her, dog. Okay, now number 3, the pooper. Girl who pooped on me. Okay, I know, very recent story. When I tell you, bro, her stuff was crazy. And by the way, I made the video about her pooping on me, so if you're curious, whatever, check it out. She definitely saw that video. She definitely saw that video because at the end, I remember I asked, I was like, man, like she's been trying to link up. Like, should I follow through? And everyone's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So a couple days later, I hit her up. I was like, yo, like, sorry, I've been busy for a couple days. Like, yo, but like, I want to hang out soon. Like, when are you free? I didn't get anything back because my plan was to link up again and I could make a follow-up video and I could call it, she didn't poop on me this time. And that would have been like, it would have been so funny, bro. But nah, it went too viral, bro. And I think I've been having this thing lately where all my love interests, they keep seeing like videos that I put out. But the thing is, what do I do? Stop putting out videos? Stop doing my job, my job, please. But anyways, since that video is recent, I'm not going to get too much into it. But basically, you know, she came over. We mentioned on dating app, she came over. And I'm mad because I remember she had asked me if I wanted to come through earlier in the day. And I'm like, if I came through earlier in the day, would I have gotten pooped on? But like, I don't know. I just wasn't trusting the concept of going to her place. So I was like, I'll just have her come to mine. So she came to mine. Things were kind of awkward at first. There was a bit of a language barrier. Wait, I don't think I told you guys like it too in depth because I think I was like, okay, if she does see this, I can't really talk too much about it. Okay, so basically, she was Asian, right? Like she's like she moved to America relatively recently, and I'm so mad because there was some streamer dude apparently who react to my stuff, and they said that he was saying it was a white woman, or that people in the comments were saying it was a white woman. Bruh, I cannot have these allegations. Oh yeah, for the record, girl who ghosted me because it was too big, South Asian. Okay, like you know, I'm gonna go through the race in these stories, so y'all know I'm really not a milkman. But anyways, she was Asian, right? And she said something to me where I'm like. She like, cause we were talking about like types, right? She's like, oh, like am I your type? I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really have a type, but like I think you're beautiful, da 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 da. And I was like, oh, like what about me? I was afraid she was gonna make it racial, but like she was like, yeah, black's my favorite color. Now, mind you, again, she's English second language, so she said it as in an accent. So I'm like, I know for a fact she didn't realize like the connotation of saying that in America. So I'm just like, dang. Ugh, but she really bad though. So I'm like, I'm still gonna cry. So remember, we start making out. She's on my lap, right? Then she does this, bro. She does this move where she reaches back behind her, right, and like goes like between her legs and grabs my meat. And she's like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Yeah." And then she asks if she can suck it, and I'm like, "Yeah." And she did, bro. And it went. It was so smooth, bro. Like that's what made it so good. Like, okay, so first girl she was gobbling me up. Okay, the aggression. Second girl. Second girl I told you about just now, the one who called me the N-word, it was the maneuver. It was the pure shock factor that made it good. This one, it was so smooth. Like, bro, like she was like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, like when it came to slopping by me. And I'm so serious. Like it was so seamless for her. Like she was just like out there, like just completely, bro, she might have been Kyrie with it, honestly. Just like prime Kyrie. Like she was almost like a wraith. Like it felt like, you know what I mean? Like, she felt like she was just like gliding around. I'm like, oh my God. And it was a great mix because let me tell you this, she was not too theatrical. I hate when I'm getting sloppy from someone who's obviously watched too many adult films and they want to do all that slapping on their face. They want to do all that, like, you know, ooh, look at it, it's on my face stuff. Mind you, it's completely cool. Like do it a couple times. But when you do that more than when it's in your mouth, like I'm not feeling it. Like sure, it's a vibe, but like if you want to really like get me going, like if you want to get me close to like finishing, which again, all these times, even though I'm giving you like this, like the top 5, most of these times I didn't finish. But anyway, she handled it. Now she scared me, okay, because she got on my lap, right, and she started trying to put it in, like oh, like immediately. I don't know why did I not mention that in the original. But anyways, I'm like, whoa, we are using protection. Yeah, thinking smart out here. And plus, I'm like, don't you just want to like go to the bed? And she's like, yeah. So anyways, go to the bed, you know, get the protection. Thank God I got protection. Oh my gosh, if I didn't. Oh my, that would have been a nightmare. Anyways, I'm glazing past this part because I feel like most of you guys know the story and it was so recent. So yeah, she got on top. Usually I wouldn't want them to be on top, but like she did a good job. I was like, all right, bet. And then started to smell it. That was after like she kind of already insinuated that like she did it. And I was like, basically she got off, took a shower. I took a shower in my other bathroom. I looked at it. I was like, Then me and her chilled for a bit before she left, okay? Which was why I thought I was going to get the second link, which I would have, obviously, if I didn't make the video. Maybe I was too quick to make the video, because usually when I make videos about things, like I used to have this thing where I was like, okay, wait until months after it happens. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it kind of gives deny, because I could be like, wait, what? That wasn't about you. Like something else happened. Because also sometimes if I'm really scared of someone like seeing a video, I'll change one very specific detail. So then I can be like, wait, that wasn't about you. That was about someone else. You know what I mean? Not anything that changes too much of the story, but just something like, you know, like it was like, oh, like I said we're at my crib, but really we're at her place, something like that. I probably shouldn't give away my method right now, but like whatever, who cares? But yeah, super nice girl, very beautiful, bro. Dude, you gotta, bro. This woman very attractive. Like I low-key did fumble by making the video and her seeing it, but you know. She also is out here pooping on people. And also she said that black was her favorite color in reference to dating. So it was never going to be like that far. Like she was just going to be in the mix. All right, next one is the time I got sloppy in Central Park / okay, this is dual because it's the same person. The time I got sloppy during Ramadan in a movie theater. Now, mind you, the last time I mentioned the Ramadan story, a lot of people got mad at me and they're like, oh, like you're being like anti or Islamophobic. No, I'm not. Because for what some people thought I was making the story up and just using like Ramadan as a set piece. No, like no. Like I'm just being straight up with you. And some people are like, oh, like, you know, Muslims, they can't even date. So yet you didn't actually date a Muslim. Bro, I'm telling you, she aligns herself with Muslim and she dated me. I don't know what to tell you. And and we're not going to sit here and act like there are people who don't break the rules of their religion, because there is. Basically, I'll get to that Ramadan story a bit later, okay? Because this was the first time, the Central Park story was the first time I ever finished from sloppy, straight up. Like I had never in my life. So basically, me and her had linked up before, right? And I think our first link up, we were walking through Central Park at night a little bit. Like we sat down together, started making out. She grabbed my meat. I was a bit bricked up. She said, you have a lot going on there. And I was like, thank you. That was when dude, there's something about New York, bro, where New York and LA, honestly, it's just a big city because they put respect on my meat, right? There's something about being in State College, Pennsylvania. Now, mind you, it will come up in conversation. Like I used to be with this other girl, okay? Arab, did not make the list. But nothing against her. She was icy. And I was talking to her. I was like, you know, I never understood, because I'm young. Like this is before like I really like knew my body. And I was like, yo, like, you know, I was never really like familiar like with my meat. You know, I was like, I'm never sure like where I like end up on the scale. And she looked at me crazy. You know, I was like, she's like, I think she thought I was like fishing for meat compliment. Oh yeah, by the way, the Ramadan story and the Central Park story, South Asian. It's just because I remember I'm going through races here as well. Or situation like the first girl, okay, where like, oh, it's too big, but it's like, woe is me. Like, you know, I'm supposed to feel shame for it being that size, right? Because mind you, when girl said it was too big, bro, she didn't like, it wasn't her like, she wasn't like, oh, it's too big. She was like, oh, it's too big. Like, it was like just like typical stuff. I'm like, so what was like the relative meat size of people in State College, Pennsylvania? Because I was straight up not getting respect there. But when I was in New York, every time I was like, oh my, whoa. Like that was my first, I was like, wait, why people are coming to me in shock. In LA, it's like, ooh, like that, like yes, they love it, bro. Thought I paused. But like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just a little respect. That's all I asked for, okay? But yeah, anyway, she grabbed it, said there was like, so, but nothing happened that night. Nothing happened that evening. But then I believe it was the second or third, Second, ooh, no, second or third link up. We're walking through Central Park, and let me tell you this: we just wanted a place to make out, right? Like that's what essentially what we were looking for. But I think maybe in our back of our minds, we're like, we could get a little more freaky if we wanted to. And we basically found this rock that's like surrounded by trees. Okay, we're sitting on the rock, we're making out. She's grabbing my meat, and then like she backs away and she like slowly starts pulling it out, and she's like looking at, bro. She'd be trying to give me like the freaky eyes every time, dog. And she took it out, and then she got to it. Okay, she got to it. And the best part about this sloppy, it was just very consistent. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know about y'all, but for me to finish, I need consistency. Like I need like that straight, like just a straight rhythm. You know what I mean? Like I don't need like all these like random moves sometimes they be throwing out there, like and it was like the perfect amount of grip, like in firmness. It was just getting the right, like I think maybe when it comes to just pure technique, she just had like the purest of technique. And apparently afterwards, she had told me she was like insecure about her sloppy game. But then she had also told me that like most people would finish relatively early when it came to receiving sloppy from her. Now, me personally, I don't know how long it took me. It took me at least longer than 10 minutes, at least. Because again, that's just not something I really finished from, right? But yeah, no, I had to explain to her multiple times. I was like, no, like you did it good. Because I literally like finished like in her, in there, right in the kisser, okay? And I remember I was holding her earrings at the time, and I ended up keeping, I have them to this day. And I would show you, but I feel like that's too close to giving out the identity, but like, whatever, yeah, I'll probably wear them in another video. But yeah, and I remember afterwards, I got really, I mean, this was New York, but like, I got really cold. I started shivering, bro. She had to give me her coat. And then she got me Chick-fil-A and was feeding me fries inside the Chick-fil-A. And one of my followers saw me there. They're like, bro, I saw you with a baddie in Chick-fil-A. I was like, oh, thanks. They said it in like one of my TikTok comment sections at the time. And I forgot, oh, something else happened at Chick-fil-A. Actually, man, I guess did I forget? I don't know, whatever. Okay, so anyways, yeah, went to Chick-fil-A. Now for the Ramadan story, okay? Which was better, do you ask? Low-key, it might have been Ramadan, the sloppy at Ramadan. Now, me and her had been walking around all day. Like, that's what we did when we were just like traveling. Like, that's kind of what our dates were. Like, we would like stop, get food at places. But like, we would just like walk around, spend the day together. And I remember it was Ramadan, so she like wasn't drinking water or anything, but then she got dizzy. I was like, yo, like, I hate to be this guy, but if you need water, like I think you should like not pass out or anything. She's like, no, like I'm good. And it's like she turned it down. I'm like, okay, but then we went to go see this movie. Now, mind you, yeah, I know they say there are cameras in the movie theaters, but apparently they don't care. Sometimes. But basically, we got in like the very back. Like I think we were even behind the projector. Like the projector was like back middle, but like sticking out a little bit. Like we were back right, but like right next to the projector, low key. And I remember she was trying to get me stopped. Like she kept trying to take it out. And I was like, nah, like I don't. Like we're in public. Like I mean, I know we're in public before, but in this instance, I was like, nah, because I feel like we're much more at risk for getting caught, and caught, kicked out the theater. Like that's awkward, They could even call the police if they wanted to. But we are like making out and whatnot, you know what I mean? Like I got my arm around her, typical movie stuff, just you and like this other, individual you're romantically interested in. But then I think she went to either go to the bathroom or like refill her drink or something. And she came back and she's like, oh, I just saw two people sleeping together here. Like they were doing it missionary. Now, mind you, she later told me that she made this up specifically because she wanted me to take my meat out so she could stop me, which I don't like at all. Because if we would have got kicked out for that, I would have been so mad. But anyway, she was like, okay, they're like having relations and like, whatever, it's just happening. I'm like, okay, if they're having relations, I can get a little sloppy. So then she started slopping me up. We were watching, I think it was Godzilla versus Kong. It was one of the ones. All I know was Godzilla was involved, right? Basically, we were near the end of the movie when this was happening, right? And I remember I was kind of nervous. I was like, oh man, like what the movie ends, lights come up, and then boom, my meat's just out. Plus I was wearing jeans, like I wasn't wearing shorts so I could just be like, you know what I mean? Like I'd have to zip up, like come on now. But she was going crazy, and then near the end, now this technically, you might not consider it sloppy, but near the end, like she was giving me sloppy. And then what made it happen was the handwork, okay? But then like I gave her the signal, I was like, and then, but like seriously though, and then I finished in her mouth. But then instantly I remembered, I was like, oh no, Ramadan, the fast. Like I'm kind of like looking for something as maybe she can like spit out the stuff in, right? But then she swallowed it. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You may be like, hey, Bryce, that's graphic. You clicked on a video called Top 5 Best Sloppies I've Received in My Life or something of the sort. Like, you should have known this was happening. But yeah, and later, she ended up bringing it up to me. Like, when we were in a situation where it was me and this girl in a room, right? The girl had called her. Long story. How I Ruined Two Women's Perception of Love. It's in that one. And they were both just basically like cursing me out. She's like, Bryce, She said, I have a worse relationship with God because of you. I broke my fast for the first time in my life because of you. And the thing is, I didn't know it was the first time in her life. But like, I like that I got that much sauce. Like, I like that, people can value me over their religion. Okay. So it's like, what sucks though is like, now I'm like, could I ever settle for less? Like, if you put your religion over me, like, what are you doing? So yeah, anyways, I would tell you how that situation ended, but it is a very long story that I have videos on this account about. So I'm kind of just going to glaze over it because I feel like most of you know that anyway. Now for this one, bro, this is Mexican, by the way. Man, this is a special story for me. It happened here in Los Angeles. It was this adult star I had grown up watching. And when I tell you, because we're on dating apps, right? And then like I saw her on the app. I was like, bro, there's I was like, is this really so and so? But I saw it was verified and everything. So I was like, oh shoot. Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna swipe right, see what happens. And then I think it might have been that same night I got that match back, and I was like, oh my gosh. So we start chatting a little bit. Now I will say, I guess I was a bit hypocritical here, because my thing is when people meet me and they know who I am already, I want them to tell me they know who I am. Not necessarily like you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I know who you are. But like if I bring up, hey, I do content, say that you've seen me before. However, in this particular instance, I couldn't do it because I don't, because she was older than me, obviously. I don't think it would come off well for me to say, hey, when I was like 14, 15, I was watching your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm talking about here? Like, I feel like that could lead to more uncomfortable conversation, right? Because she was already like, oh my gosh, you're a baby. You know what's crazy? I did not realize how many I mean, it makes sense, but how many adult stars reside in LA, right? Because this was not the only adult star like I've entangled with. Super chill people, bro. Like, a great human being. Like, I know there's a lot of dehumanizing of people in that industry that happens. You can't do it, bro. They're great people. But anyways, we text back and forth for a few days, and then she ended up coming to my place, right? And given the recency of the story, I will give you less detail, just in case. I gotta be careful. I'll tell you this, it was another situation where she asked if she could. And her thing was, her what I'd write home about, she went deeper than most. Deeper than most, but not to a point of discomfort. Because usually when people try to go deeper, it's just like, ow, this hurts. Don't know how she did it. Don't know how, don't know what kind of magic she pulled. But like, she went deep. I liked it. Okay, I liked it. It meant a lot to me. And since I'm only telling you, because again, that story, it's the book's still being written, let's just say. And since that's the case, we're giving you 6. Okay, bonus number 6. 6 best times I've received sloppy. I lied in the thumbnail, clickbait. Ooh, arrest me. And anyways, I hinted at this one in one of my more recent videos, bro. This woman, okay, look, I've been going through the races. I need to, look, that other white woman was from high school, okay? But I will say this woman was white, but, I thought she was light skinned almost the entire time. She had all the light skin feet. Like, when someone just has like fair skin, but they're still black, like they just have light skin features. But then like she showed me like a picture of her mom. I saw her mom like white. I was like, okay, bet. You know what I mean? I'm like, so, white person. Like the dad must be black. Okay, whatever. I don't really care. I'm not thinking too much about it. But then like a couple weeks later, she showed me a picture of her dad. He was also white. I was like, oh, I was so upset. Okay, not upset because she was a great young lady. Okay, I wasn't gonna stop talking to her, but I just know optically how people feel about the black man, white woman combo. I made videos about that as well. There's just a lot of shame that comes along with it. Okay, but anyways, I was gonna keep talking to her, and basically, me and her went very slow. Okay, I lied. Slower than usual, but not very slow. The first link, right? And you're gonna see why I said it went slow. First time we hung out, apparently her friend like worked at this restaurant or whatever. So we went to said restaurant. We got drinks, we got food. Now, mind you, there was one point because I think I didn't have my card. Oh yeah, I lost my card at this time. Oh, it was so annoying. So I had to take everything from my bank account and put it into my Apple Cash, right? So at this time, I didn't know how much I had in my Apple Cash. I didn't want to have to go and make the transaction because they put limits on how much you can transaction a day from your account to your Apple Cash. So basically, we got food, and then like she ordered like more stuff. So I was concerned. Now because again, y'all know I am not like a man needs to pay for the first date by default kind of guy. But in a situation where like I'm being like asked to pay, which doesn't really happen. Like again, I've paid for 2 first dates in my entire life. But in a situation where like that's being presented, I'm not going to be weird about it, right? Like I'm completely fine with the concept of paying, right? But like she got like, because this place very small portions, right? But like she got these like tacos, they're really good. So she ordered more. They got more for both of us, and then we also went to the bar area, got some drinks, and then she paid for it all, which is great. Love that young lady. Like she was genuinely really cool. Like when I tell you how things ended, you're gonna be very upset. But anyways, we're talking. I was just looking at her, and she's like, like you can't look at me like that. And I'm like, what? And she basically said something with just the implication of like, oh, because now I want to sleep with you. I want to do it so bad. And I'm like, okay, bet. So then we leave the bar, but like we don't actually, leave the restaurant. We were on the bar area in the restaurant. But I don't remember how exactly we parted ways, but we just parted ways. Like we didn't go to each other's places or anything like that. And we had hung out a few more times. I went to her place, and I think I was at her place one time and we did not sleep together. Okay, like one time before. Okay, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Basically, stayed over, like we were chilling, doing whatever. I think we had done something earlier that day. I can't remember though. Basically, we were laying in bed, we're making out. She's grabbing my meat, and then she's like, "Ooh." Again, this was New York where they put respect on my meat. But it was cool. It was pretty wholesome for the most, like, cause it was like the way she grabbed it, like we're making out and it's like, okay, but like seriously though, I have to go to bed. And then she grabbed my meat and she's like, okay. And she wasn't like overly emotional about it either though. Cause after that she was like, okay, I need to go to sleep. Like your meat's big, which is great. But like, need to go to sleep. I'm like, okay, bet. We went to sleep that time. Then the next time, that's when we're getting into the juicy portions of the story. Now, when I tell you, bro, this woman gave me the sloppiest. Okay, like let me tell you this. First of all, when she had mentioned like her kitty cat earlier, right? And she told me, she was like, Bryce, it's like that. And I was like, oh really? And she's like, nah, like for real, it's like that. And like she wasn't even like, again, like she was not overly emotional, like she was not like tongue in cheek, like she was not playing, bro. When she gave me sloppy, bro, this was the sloppiest sloppy I have received to this day. And it's not even close. Remotely close. Like, bro, it's, you don't understand. Okay, she was blowing bubbles on it. I will say that. Okay, again, I don't want to get too graphic for you. But like, okay, like, look, I don't know if any of you have ever slapped someone up before, right? And this goes for slapping up men and women, right? Because, bro, I'm not gonna lie, her sloppy game helped me with my sloppy game. Okay, basically, there's, regardless, there's going to be some saliva that like you take back. You know what I mean? Like you don't let it all out. Most of the time. Like most people aren't gonna let it all out. She let it all out. She let it all out, bro. It was crazy, man. Like literally a pool was built. Oh, yeah, I'm so glad I saved this one for last because this is by far like the nastiest to describe. A pool was building around my meat. But like, mind you, baddie. So I'm like, bro, this, like, because I feel like if it was a situation where it was like someone who wasn't that attractive, it'd be like, oh, like put that away. Like I remember one time, bro, this girl was slapping me up, and I saw it was like stuff going down her chin, and in my mind I was like, ew, like I was like, gross, nasty. But anyways, there was like a pool building around. There's like, again, it looks like my meat looks like there's like a glass thing on it, right? Because that's just her saliva. It's shimmering in the light. And basically, then it's like, now we want to sleep together, okay? And she's like, she gives me the condom. She was prepared, bro. She wanted me to crack so bad, bro. She's like, hey, here, put this on. I'm trying now, mind you. Like, you know, I feel like the vulnerable moment. I've had those moments where I'm trying to put the protection on and it completely takes me out of it. Because I overthink, because I'm like, bro, like, what if I put it on the wrong way? And then when I do put it on the wrong way, then I kind of, it usually doesn't, it's usually not too bad, but sometimes, you know, I do soften up a bit in those moments. That was not a problem here because the sloppy had got me going. And I was trying to put it on though, and it wasn't going on. Not because I was putting it on the wrong way, not because I was just, my technique was off. It was too slippery. She gave me sloppy that was so sloppy, I couldn't put the protection on afterwards. I couldn't, God would not allow it, okay? So then it got to that point where it's clear we can't get it on. What are we gonna do? We could just, you know, keep exchanging sloppy because I munched first. I did munch first, good for me. We could keep exchanging sloppy or we could risk it for the biscuit. We gave each other that look. She just got on top. We risked it. We risked it for the biscuit. Now, mind you, something I will say about this young lady, though. She had apparently been celibate for 2 years. That's why I don't believe in celibacy, bro. It's made up. Like, you mean you couldn't find a man you wanted to sleep with for 2 years, bro? Like, please. And then I pull up, because mind you, again, it took what, like 3 links to get to this point? Like, it wasn't that difficult, dog. Now, mind you, it maybe a bit longer than I'm used to, perhaps, right? Perhaps. Or, you know, in these kinds of situations, a bit longer, yeah. Especially when I was in New York, bro, I was letting it fly, bro. I was like, you can't see, but I'm swinging it right now. Like, that's what I was doing. That's how I was going about life. But yeah, like her whole like celibacy made me feel a lot. Cause like, if it was someone where I was like, okay, like you're clearly just going, I don't think I would have allowed it. But like her celibacy, I was like, all right, bet. And yeah, bro, phew. See, I could not disclude her from the list. Like I saved her for last cause I feel like it's the least interesting story. But like, phew. Also, by the way, she was the one who talked to ghosts. I don't know if you guys remember that story, but basically, you know, after we did end up sleeping together, she was talking to like the ghost of like her dad or uncle or grandfather. It was some like male figure in her life that had passed away. She had like a vigil like set up to them. It was kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think in the original story, I was like, what? She's crazy. But like now that I'm remembering the sloppy, I'm putting a lot more respect on her name. But yeah, and I mentioned how me and her, like sometimes like I'll just throw in a situation that happened with me and someone and I'll not tell you like exactly who it was. This was the situation where basically I had to get out of New York because I had been there for like a month And my friend's roommate was like, bro, he's been here for a month. And then my friend was like, that is true. And I was like, that is also true. So I had to go back to State College from New York. And it was a really stressful time because I had to like organize my trip back. I had to make sure I had everything together. You know what I mean? And plus, I was just tired. Dude, I was doing so much, dude. I was exhausted at that time. So I didn't text her for a few days, right? And I texted her because she had slid up on one of my stories. She's like, oh, I want to like eat you tonight. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? It was something, I don't think it was tonight. I don't think it was something like, oh, I need to like eat you like this weekend. Or it was something like that, bro. I was like, a few days later, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I got busy. Like, I ended up having to leave, da, 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 da. In her response, I will never forget. It was like, oh, like, it was something like, I said, I'll never forget, clue, I forgot. It was something like, thanks for letting me know, but I really did not appreciate. And then it was like the dot, dot, dots, like before you open the message. I did not. Mm-mm. Like, I know for a fact, it was something about like, oh, I did not appreciate like you not like keep me updated. So it was going to be something like that. But I'm like, bro, roster's too expansive at this point in time for me to care about you, no matter how wonderful your sloppy is. So I just kind of ghosted her after that. And I know you're like, bro, there's no way you ghosted like the sloppiest sloppy of all time. I had to, dog. Plus, again, I found out she was white. Kind of, I can't have her making my roster look bad. Okay. But again, thought she was light skinned. Okay, that's what I thought. And also, she was just a baddie. Give me a break. Who cares if she's? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I got some Hinge likes right now, like some likes in my Hinge. They're white. I'm considering it. So if you want to take me to jail, if you want to sue me, if you want to arrest me, because perhaps I'm gonna return some of these white women's Hinge likes, which by the way, my Hinge right now, primarily black. Dude, bro, I've never, even in New York, I feel like I've not romantically encountered this many black women. Okay, that's how I know LA is a place for me, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. People say all sorts of rumors about me, bro. I love black women. I really do. And I know you're probably like, oh, but like one didn't make the list. Look, it's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And you know what? Honestly, I feel like that should be motivational for certain black women. You know, like make the list. You know what I mean? Like if I do a redux of this list in 5 years, what if we go 4 for 5, bro? I hope that didn't sound disrespectful, but I'm being so serious, dog. I might need to make another video about like my Hinge exploits alone. But like, no, I'm so happy. Like I'm matching with black women. Like it's because you don't understand. Because mind you, it's like I was in State College, Pennsylvania before, right? You know, a lot of white people. Now mind you, when there was a black person on the dating app, and I swipe right, would it be a match most of the time? Yeah, of course. But like at the same time, it's like the number of black women made it so like not necessarily every person there was the cream of the crop, right? And same thing with black men, same thing with like any minority race in State College, right? That's why I didn't date anyone in State College long term. Like, remember, like, think about like my exes, bro, none of them were really in State College. And then in New York, there was a lot of stuff going on. Actually, there was a lot of stuff going on in New York. I had a lot of people in New York. Bro, they were just busting out the seams. Okay, so it was a diverse array in New York. But when I tell you, just me looking at my Hinge likes and seeing like probably like 80%, and probably because Hinge knows your type. You know what I mean? Like Hinge, like they kind of like factor in. So I'm like, bro, I'm seeing like 70, 80. Ugh. Like they know. Again, my plan is one of these black women on the roster, I want them to eventually introduce me to a black man. This is going to sound crazy, okay, given the context and given the fact that everyone thinks I'm gay. But introduce me to this black man. That black man might be like, hey, bro, I know this barber. Crazy idea, right? Crazy. I'm plotting on making not only black male friends, but also meeting a barber and someone who can do my hair. Dude, I need my black community, bro. Like, and like ironically, like my 2 best friends are black, but like I don't be seeing them like that. Okay, but I need like rotational black pieces in my life. Like y'all don't understand, bro. I was getting hated on so much, and people like on the social media, they're like, oh man, like I know for a fact black people don't rock with you. Da 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 da. It's not true, but just coincidentally, all the black people I rocked with or that rocked with me and like, you know what I mean, by black friends were like far away. Like they all like moved to different locations. And romantically, like the black population in State College is slim to none. Slim pickings, dog. But yeah, bro, super excited to meet some black people. Also, bro, dude, when I tell you baddies, dog, and they're tall. They're all tall too. And I'm tall. Like that's why, dude, my Hinge is going like the best for me of like any dating app, like to be real. Like, bro, you're gonna see me with so many black queens. I mean, you might not see me with them, but I'm gonna be with so many black queens, bro. You're gonna be thinking I'm doing PR. You're gonna think I'm doing doing damage control on my reputation. It's gonna make it so much better when I get into my online shenanigans. Because, bro, like y'all don't understand. Like I get accused of black women hatred so much just randomly for no reason. Like I feel like the only negative thing I've ever said about black women is like homophobia. It's like very prevalent in the community, but like that extends to men too. And it's just true. And that's not me coming for you being like, oh, like I'm bashing you. I don't like this thing about you. It's just like, it's me bashing people who are hateful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like that counts as hating on somebody. No, dude, like, when I tell you, it was getting so bad. It was getting to the point, bro, where my mom, she's like, Bryce, I don't know if I could see you with a black woman. I was like, what? Mind you, my mom, black woman herself. I'm like, not that, okay. The thing, I only say that because people think I'm mixed, okay? So I have to put those allegations to bed. But I'm like, mom, like, what are you talking about, bro? Because she was like, oh, like, you know, just, because she's thinking about my ex, because, you know, my exes have been like Asian. Different. They look. I promise you, they all look different, dog. Like I'm not just like going to like the same countries, dude. Like look, the last two may have been South Asian, but I promise you, one was darker skin, right? Darker skin, larger eyes. One was lighter skin, smaller eyes. And before that, she may have been look. Before that, girl number 0, she may have been, you know, how do I explain it? How do I explain it? She looked kind of Mexican, not gonna lie. And she was tatted up. So many tats. So they all look different. In all these situations, they came together coincidentally. That's why I need y'all to understand. That's why I'm coming here, diversifying my portfolio. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there's probably something I said in the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes or however long I've been talking about this that's very problematic to some of you. I'm sorry. But all I know is now I have some beautiful black queens at my disposal. Okay, disposal might not be the word I'm looking for. Okay, I have access to them, unlike when I was in State College, Pennsylvania, with like 95% white people. Okay, do we see the vision? I can finally meet other black people in person and build actual community, bro. This is what I'm talking about. And also, Hinge is more of a dating app, okay? So there's more like it's not, because I think I can have a hookup, fine, whatever. Like I've had hookups, okay, but that's not building community. Here I have opportunities to build real community. You realize how big this is for me? You realize how big of a moment this is for me, BRS? Now mind you, I know after my last video, I've been getting a lot of hate. I skimmed the comments. Didn't read all of them. Didn't read full comments, but I skimmed. And a lot of new gens just discovered that I was a bad person, which so sad, okay? But at the end of the day, I still do have a heart of gold and I still do and deserve joy and happiness, do I not? Okay? Okay, come on now. Hey, bro, there's some people in that comment section hating back. Like, I forgot, there was one comment where the first sentence is, to think I was a subscriber. And I'm like, what do you mean to think you were a subscriber, bro? You're taking away your sub? just because I manipulate people and have no morals? Like, come on now. Anyways, I need to make another video about the Hinge situation, okay? So I might rehash some of that in the future. Also, this video, I don't know, I was expecting it to be shorter. It might not be shorter given like my little tangent at the end. Because again, I'm telling you, I want to make the switch, bro. TikTok, kind of I'm not messing with them anymore. Okay, YouTube, y'all my real baby. That's why you should be a BRS Goon, bro. Be a member. Because I'll tell you right now, BRS Goons got this video like, it's 11:11 right now. Oh my gosh, they got it like 11:12 at the latest. Wait, no, they got it 11:11, and y'all not getting it until 11:13, bro. Think about it. And also, I'm probably gonna have a poll soon asking them what the next video should be. But like, I don't know how I'm gonna work that. Anyways, we're gonna figure it out. But I will just say, you don't want to miss out on being a BRS Goon. Like, don't you want to be able to tell people that you were an OG Goon? Or do you want to be like, oh yeah, no, see, I was there when he first started the whole BRS Goon thing, but like I was there after like the Goon wave, you know? Like, nah, you want to be before the Goon wave. It's a good place on the Goon curve. Okay, anyways. I gotta wrap this video because I'm trying to make these videos like more concise. Because I also just want to test out. I'm like, bro, like if I get straight to the point, how do those videos end up doing? Like if you notice, like during this video, I thought I paused just now. Then, like if you notice during this video, like there are a few times where I could have gone on tangents, I did not. But then it's good because it's like those tangents can become their own videos, and that's more content for you, and without watering down my content. Anyways, I literally have to stop talking at some point because I got to record my next video. But I love you. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe. Everything I have to say, I'm so sorry, and I love you. And have a great day, night, evening, morning. And thank you for watching. I forgot to say that. Thank you for watching genuinely. Okay.